Hi guys, this is Ashok Reddy. Today we will discuss static members and execution flow with JVM architecture and examples. Okay, today class is very important. Please don't skip this video. Okay. Yeah, first of all, we will discuss static members and execution flow. Okay, after that, I prepared already examples. So many examples is there. Okay, the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, already I prepared 4 example. Okay, we will discuss later. First, we will discuss static members and execution flow. Okay, before going to we will discuss static members execution flow. You guys can remember 3 terminology. Okay, memory allocation, and memory initialization, and third one is logic execution. You guys can remember this point. First one is memory allocation and memory initialization and logic execution. Memory allocation means you guys can default value. This time when memory allocation initially memory allocation will happen default value. Okay, you guys can remember whenever class is loaded into JVM, then JVM allocate all the static variable with the default value from top to bottom in order they are defined. Okay, whenever class is loaded into JVM allocate the memory to all the static variable with default value from top to bottom in the order they are defined. Okay, second one is whenever after default value memory allocation is done. Okay, now memory allocation is completed. Then second one is then all the static variable initialization and static block logic are executed in the order they are defined in top to bottom. Okay, now two points coming, right? Memory initialization and logic execution. Okay, then what will happen once variable once memory allocation and memory initialization, after that logic execution. Okay, here these 3 points completed. Okay, once these 2 completed, then finally main method is executed. Okay, in this main method static method is executed only when we can call. Okay, if you are not calling main method, if you are not calling static method, not going to execute. Okay, now one more time. whenever class is loaded into JVM, okay, JVM allocate all the static variable with default value from top to bottom. Okay, then second point, static variable initialization and static block logic execution in the order they are defined from top to bottom. Once after that, finally main method is executed. Then if your static method is called in the main method, then it is going to call static method. If you are not calling, static method is not going to execute. But variable initialization, default value variable initialization, and these 3 points, whenever if you are not calling also, these 3 points also going to execute. But static method is not like that. Okay, if you are calling from main method, then only executed static method. Okay, then we will discuss example. First we will discuss example, one more JVM architecture, or you guys save. Now, yeah, here you guys can remember in now I am going to explain only now I am going to explain in JVM architecture method area and Java stack area. Remaining I will explain later whenever times come. Okay, today I am going to explain method area and Java stack area. Okay, remaining I will explain later. Okay, then now here example 4. Okay, I am going to this is the example 4. Okay, here static method is there, static variable is there, and in the while initializing I am calling static method, while initializing I am calling m1 method. After that static method also calling. After the static method is calling, then main method is going to execute. In this main method I am calling m1 method. Okay, this is the flow. Control 1. Now compilation is successfully completed. Control 2. Yes, I told now. First it will execute a static method. After the static block and main method is executed. Okay, after that it will call static variable. Okay, whenever calling m1 method, it will going to access static variable. Okay, here and okay. Now I have to close. Can we see diagrammatically now? Here first initially I told you what is happen whenever class is loaded into JVM. Initially static variable can allocate the memory. What is the allocate the memory? This is the first step. Okay, this is the first step. 1 minute. First allocate the memory, that is the end, so that is the default value 0. Okay, default value is 0. Then what is that? A here, A correct na? Now default value is 0. Okay, then here I am writing, but again I am going to write here also. Okay, then don't confuse. Now it will check any static variable is there or not. If static variable is not there, then you have to initialize. Once completed, first step is completed. Then second step, what is the second step? What is the first step? Allocate the memory. That is what is the static variable default value is 0. Correct na? Then second step is you can check static variable initialization and static block execution. Static variable initialization and static block execution are executed in the order they are defined from top to bottom. You guys can keep in your mind top to bottom, static variable initialization and static block execution in the order top to bottom. Okay, now then here m1 method is calling. Then it is going to execute m1 method. Okay, once executed m1 method, then it will return what will it will return? 20. It will return 20. Okay, what is the this is the it will return 20. Okay, you guys can what I have to write here. Okay, instead of 0 you can replace 20. Okay, instead of 0 you can replace 20. Okay, you can keep in your memory. You guys can understand properly. Okay, now you guys can clear, right? Now this now after that we will check any static method static block is there or not. Here static block is not there. If static block is there, it is going to execute static block. Okay, here I am not writing any static block. Okay, so not going to execute. Okay, then what will happen? Now it is control comes to the main method. Control comes to the main method. Okay, sorry. Control comes to the main method. Okay, main method is executed. Here I am calling M1. I am calling M1 static method M1, right? So it is going to execute M1 method. Then here it will print. But here what happened? Initially, whenever calling here M1 method, it will print a value is 0. Correct na? It will going to access a value is 0. Correct na? But once control comes to the main method, once execution is completed, it will return 20. Instead of 0, you can replace 20. Once control comes to the main method, whenever control comes to the main method, here main method is going to execute it. After that, again I am calling M1 method. Correct na? Again I am calling M1 method. Then it will comes to here. Control comes to M1 method. It will print a value is 20. Here M1 a value is 20, not 0. Okay, because here already it will return 10. Sorry, this is 10. Okay, not 20. You guys can keep in mind. This is not 10, not 20, 10. Okay, sorry. You guys can correct. Okay, it will print 10. Okay, then this is the flow. I think so you guys can understood, right? Again I am going to execute. First step is initially it will allocate the memory, that is default value is 0. Then it will check any static variable is there or not. Here not there, correct na? So static variable initializing. Then static variable, whenever while initializing static variable, it will call M2 method. Once this M1 method is executed, it will return 10. It will return 10. Correct na? It will return 10. Then here it will print initially first time it will return print 0. Okay, after that it will replace 20. It will replace 10. Okay, then it will control comes to the main method. Then M1 method again M1 method is calling. This time it will print 10. Okay. 1 minute saying. Okay, second one. Here what is happening here? Initially, whenever class is loaded into JVM, it will allocate the static variable. Static variable is a value is default value is 0. Then second, it will check any static variable is there or not. Static variable is not there. Then control comes. Then it will check. And then second step is static variable initialization and static block logic execution in the order they are defined from top to bottom. It will check here. Static variable initialization is completed. Static variable initialization a value is 10. Instead of 0 you can replace 10. Instead of 0 you can replace 10. Okay, 1 minute. You can, instead of 0 you can replace 10. Okay, then what happened? Then next one is static block is executed. Okay, third one is static block is, this is the third step. Then control comes to the main method. Main method is executed. While executing the main method, it will call to the M1 method. Then it will M1 method also executed. This time a value is 10. Okay. Now can we execute now? Example 5. Yeah. Control 1. Yeah, completed. Compilation is completed. Control 2. Yeah. Now see what will happen. Static variable a. 1 minute. Static variable a 10. Then static block is executed. After once static block logic is executed, then control comes to the main method. Here static variable is again it will calling static variable. Whenever calling M1 method, it will print the it will print the a value is 10. Okay, clear, right? Yeah. Next, next example we can see. Yeah, this is the example. Now example 6. Please guess the output. Anyone? Please guess the output. 2 minutes I have to give the time. Yeah, now I am going to start. Okay, first static variable is going to allocate the static variable memory. Initially allocate the static variable memory. A equal to a value is 10, a value is 0. After that it will check another static variable b. Here a b value is 0. Okay, then it will check any static variable is there or not. Here there is no static variable, right? So then it will going to here a value static variable initialization. In that time a equal to 10, b equal to 20. Instead of 0 it will replace 10, and instead of 0 here also replace 20. Okay, it will then static block is executed here also. Then it will another static block also executed. Sorry, here static block is executed. Okay, now a value is 10, b value is 20. Static block is, then control comes to the main method. M1 method is calling. M1 method is calling directly method name, so it will call static method. Okay, then this is the this is the flow. Can we compile now? Control 1. Yeah, compilation is successful. Control 2. Yeah, see, static variable a equal 10, b equal 20. Then static block also executed, then main method executed, then again calling a static method, then yeah, we'll see. What is the flow? First it will calling static variable initialization, static variable default value allocating. Then 1 minute, I have to change here. Okay, then first initially static variable allocate the static memory, that is default value is 0. Now a equal to a is 0, and what is that b value also default value also 0, that is the end. Then it will check any static variable is there or not. There is no static variable. Okay, then second step is static variable initialization. Instead of 0 you can replace 10. Okay, instead of 0 you can replace 10. Here also instead of 0 you can replace 20. Okay, you can replace 20. Okay, instead of 0 you can replace 20. Okay, then this is the third step. This is the third, and this is the fourth step. Then it will check any static block, then it will going to static block is executed. This is the fifth one. It will check any static block is there or not. There is no static block. Okay, then it is going to control comes to the main method. Control comes to the main method. It will going to call here in the static method calling M1 method. Correct na? Here calling M1 method. It is going to call M1 method. This is the seventh step. Okay, then it will going to execute M1 method. Okay, I think you guys can understood, right? You guys clear, right? Now to static variable initialization, then static variable initialization, then static block execution, then control comes to the main method. Main method is going to execute. While executing main method, calling M1 method. Okay, this is the step. Yeah, I'm saving. Yeah, second example 7. Here I am going static variable. Here also static variable is there and static variable is there. The one static block and two static block is there. Two static variable. What is the flow? You guys can keep in your mind. Very, very important. You guys can don't confuse. Now what is going to allocate the static variable memory? First of all, going to allocate the static variable memory. A value is 10, A value is 0, B value is also 0. Then while initializing the static variable, first static variable initialization, then again static block execution. Okay, in the order from top to bottom. Okay, then control comes to the main method. While executing the main method, calling M1 method. While calling M1 method, it is going to execute it. Okay, now can we see? First we have to compile. Control 1. Yeah, compilation is completed. Control 2. Yeah, see, static variable is executed, then static block executed, and control comes to the main method, and static method is going to execute it. Okay, here only static method is only one, right? Now example 7. Yeah, what will happen? Initially static variable memory allocation A value is 10. What is that? A value is 0. Allocate the static variable memory. Then control comes to the here also it will check any static variable is there or not. Here static variable, another static variable is there. It is going to allocate the static variable memory. Here B value is 0. Here B value is default value is 0. Okay, then control comes to the here static variable initialization. Okay, while calling static variable initialization, it will going to initializing static variable initialize. While instead of 0 you can replace 10. Okay, instead of 0 you can replace 10. Then after that it control comes to here also what I am saying, in static variable initialization and static block execution going to execute from top to bottom what they are defined. Okay, that is the flow. Okay, now static variable initialization, then static block execution, then here after that control comes to here static variable initialization is 20. Static variable initialization is 20. Okay, then yeah, instead of 10 it will replace, instead of 0 replace 10, instead of 0 it will replace 20. Okay, then once completed control comes to the main method. Okay, for this is the fifth one. Okay, control comes to the main method, then while executing main method it will calling M1 method, it is going to execute M1 method. It will calling to the M1 method. Okay, okay, then I am going to save. I think you guys can understood, right? Now I am going to the same flow, flow is same, but what will happen here, I am going to access, just see here control 1, control 2. Here I am going to access only static variable. Okay, yeah, but if I am going to access, sorry guys, if I am going to access here static variable b, what will happen? If I am going to access static variable b, what will happen? It will compile or not? Just see. Example 8. Same example, but I am going to access. I am going to write the. I am going to access directly static variable b. What will happen? Control 1. Yeah. What will happen? What is the error? Illegal forward reference. Why it is given error? Why it is given error means actual value is 20. Actual value is 20. But here what will happen? It will, if you are trying to access, it will give the 0. Value is 0. So what happened? What is a compiler? It is saying if you want to access static variable b, you can move to before static block. You can move before static block. Okay, if you are moving, then you can correct the logic. Control 1. Yeah, now compilation is successful. Control 2. Yeah, now see, there is no error, right? A equal A value 10, B value 20. If same place is there, what will happen? You will get the error. But if you want to access default value, right? If you want to access default value, what will happen? How to access default value? 0. What is the class name? Class name is 8. Example 8. Example 8 dot b. Example 8 dot b. Okay. What will happen if you are trying to access directly, then example dot b, then you will get the value with default value. Okay. Control S, Control 1. Control 2. Yeah, you will get the b value is 0. Correct na? What I am saying, what is the rule? We cannot access static variable for reading its value before it initializing it's completed. Before it is initialization is completed. Correct na? Here what happened? First static variable is a 0. First I have to read this static variable. We cannot access static variable for reading its before it is initialization is completed. It means in this declaration, what is the declaration mean? Static in b equal to 20. This is the variable declaration. Variable declaration statement execution must be completed. Okay, what happened? What is saying? Initialization must be completed before going to access static variable. Okay, that is the what saying here. Okay, what can we see? What will happen? First, static variable memory allocated. Okay, then again one more static variable b allocate the memory 0. Okay, see now a value is, what is the a value is 0. Okay, here also a value is, sorry, here b value is 0. Okay, now if you are trying to initialize static variable initialization, if you are trying to access static variable initialization, okay, now this value is 10. Correct na? Instead of 0, that is the value is 10. Please keep in your mind. Okay, now instead of 0 you can replace 10. Then static blocks going to execute. Here what is the value is a, 1 minute. Then tell me here what is the value of a? What is the value of a? A value is 10, not 0. A value is 0 because already initialization is completed. Now what is the b value? B value is 0 actually, but if you cannot access directly, what I am saying, we cannot access static variable when for reading its value before its initialization is completed. Okay, whenever once static variable you cannot access direct, mean in its declaration statement execution must be completed. Declaration statement must be completed if you are trying to access. Okay, that is the reason you cannot access directly. If you are trying to access variable b, you can do like, what is that? You can write example 8 dot, what is that value, what is the variable b. Okay, in this time you can access what is that, you can access this variable default value 0. Okay, you can access default value is 0. Okay, now if you are what a compiler when why you are getting error b compiler saying if you are trying to access before variable declaration, you are getting error. Please correct, telling to us, please correct the logic. Okay, that how to correct the logic. Okay, I told you. You can before static block you can write declare the static variable b equal 20. In this time you cannot get the error. Okay, sorry. Control 1. Compilation is successful. Control 2. Yeah, this time you cannot get error because this variable declaration is completed and variable allocate the memory and initialization is completed. Then you will get the directly access. Okay, if you are writing your logic here, you cannot access directly. You can write class name dot. Okay, you can write class name dot. You can access, right? Okay. Now you guys can clear, right? Yeah, I think clear, right? Yeah. Now this is very important. You guys can focus last example 9. Okay, this is the last example. Please focus. Static variable is there and this is the static method m1 and just check this here. See, sorry, static variable x is there and static variable y is there and static variable z is there. Any static method is static block is there. Static block is 1 and again static block is there. And how many static method is there? 1, 2, 3. Correct na? Then what is the output here? Please guess. 2 minutes. I have to give the time. 1 minute. Please guess the output. Please guess the output. Hi guys, please subscribe my my YouTube channel Java by Ashok Reddy. I am going to explain every topic very deeply. Okay, go through my every video. Please go through every video. My video, every topic have to explain very deeply. Be patient, see the patience every video. My video is very deeply. No one can explain in this deeply. Please go through every video, every topic. You guys can understood. Okay. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. Whenever I have to upload the video, my topics, you guys can get the notification. Okay. Yeah. Now. Yeah, please guys, anyone get the output? Yeah, no problem. Now compilation is successful. Control 2. Just see, static variable is executed, then static block. Please check your output. Static block 3, static variable 2 and static variable 3 and static block is executed. Then control comes to the main method. Okay, main method is executed. Okay. Now I am going to explain diagrammatically. Okay. Here nothing. Here initially it will check a static variable, allocate the static variable memory. What is the static variable? Is static variable x, static variable y, and static variable z. Here while initializing static variable, it will call the M1 method. It will call to the M1 method. It will call to the method 1. Then it will call to the method 1. Then it will return to the 100. If this 100 stored instead of 0, it will replace 100. Then static variable initialization is completed. Then static blocks are executed in the order top to bottom. I told you static variable initialization and static block logic execution is from execution from top to bottom when they are declared. Okay, static block is executed. Then after that it will call to the M2 method. Then it will call to the M2 method. Then it will M2 method will method to return 200. It will replace y default value 0. Instead of 0 it will replace 200. Then control comes to the here. Then z variable, static variable z, it will call to the M3 method 3. Then M3 method, while executing M3 method, it will return 300. Instead of 0 it will replace 300. Okay. Then control comes to the main method. Where is the main method? Control comes to the main method. Main method is executed. That is the flow. Now I am going to explain diagram. Okay. First of all, what is the whenever class is loaded into JVM, first of all you can allocate the static variable memory from top to bottom. This is the allocate the static variable with the default value from top to bottom. Then while initializing the static variable, it will call to the M1 method. Then it will return M1 method instead of method 1 it will return the 100. Instead of 0 it will replace 100. Then after that static variable initialization completed. Then static blocks, second one is static block logic executed. Again it will call to the static variable initialization. M2 method it will return 200. Instead of 0 it will replace 200. Okay. Then here while initializing static variable z, it will call to the method 3. Okay. Then finally it will call to the static block. Once static variable initialization and static block logic execution is completed, control comes to the main method. Then this is the flow. I think so. Clear, right? Thank you guys. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you guys.